Hello, manifestors. How's it going? It's 𝗙Con back with another video. How about that? I have a comment here from a viewer who goes by the name of 𝗙ecie. I like that, 𝗙cie, maybe. And I think it's a good comment. It's a long story, but I'm going to read it. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to comment on it and give 𝗙cie and some of you maybe going through similar situations a little bit of guidance here. So we'll see what we can come up with, okay? I do love doing these things from time to time. I haven't done really viewer comment videos. I do them. I think I'm not doing them as often as maybe I should these days, but this is always a fun thing to do, all right? Because you can really see real life situations that people are going through. And you can always tell, you know, you might be out there thinking, oh my God, my situation is so terrible. It's never going to work out. And, you know, yes, manifesting might work, but not for me. And I screwed up. And then you can see through these stories that people have that you're not alone. That, you know, so many of the things that you use to limit yourself or use as an excuse to limit yourselves, other people are going through similar things. And, you know, there are a lot of great success stories out there. If you Google them, all right, read them as often as possible because they can really inspire you. You can tell that a lot of times you'll find people with stories that are much worse than yours, and they manage to turn things around as well. So you can really tell nothing is impossible, really, all right, when you understand how this stuff works. So let's get into it, all right? Hey, 𝗙Con, I just recently discovered your channel, and it's been a great help. Well, thank you for joining, and thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Here's my situation. So my ex broke up with me 3 months ago. It was a good relationship, and we had a great connection, unlike no one else we've ever met. She broke up with me because of some issues that we had that were on my part. I couldn't control a lot of them because of circumstances with parents, etc. Quarantine hit, and it made things a lot worse. We couldn't see each other for 3 months. My fault because of personal circumstances. Well, it sounds like, I mean, you said the circumstances were out of your control, but so you shouldn't blame yourself for them. Even if you feel that they were within your control, you shouldn't blame yourself for them. This is going to be a big message of this video, okay? You need to forgive yourself first. It's important to forgive the other person, if it's an ex especially, for anything that might have happened in the past. If you really want to get back together with them, if you want to manifest them back in your life, you need to forgive them, but you also need to start with forgiving yourself. So let's drop that kind of language first and foremost, okay? It's not your fault, all right? This thing is part of the program we're going through right now, and, you know, don't put the blame on yourself. Even if you feel like you're to blame, try to reconcile that within yourself and really try to be more loving and compassionate towards yourself and forgiving towards yourself, all right? It really begins with fixing that relationship with yourself. From that point, all right, from that vantage point of fixing that relationship with yourself, you can fix any relationship with anybody else. That's the first relationship that you need to tend to, okay? So no more language of it's my fault, I messed up, I screwed up. I hear this so much from you guys, all right? And I can tell that it's you know, there's a bit of self-loathing going on there maybe, but you got to reconcile that, all right? The self-love and self-appreciation is so important, and self-forgiveness is so important because, you know, how are you going to move into a new relationship with this person, with your specific person, still carrying that kind of stuff around with you? What's going to happen is you might have a great time with them for a little while, but those same issues will come up because you didn't reconcile them in yourself to begin with. So start with healing yourself first, okay? Start with forgiving yourself first, then forgive them, and then send out love beams. Love beams. So she broke up with me in May, and she said she needed to heal and that she was hurting a lot. She loves you. Yeah. And that's a good sign. And whatever's happening right now doesn't mean she suddenly stopped loving you, okay? But you can use things like that to kind of really bolster yourself and bolster your cause here. Because if you remind yourself steadily that maybe she thinks I messed up, or maybe I did this and that, and the other thing, and I'll forgive myself for that, but she still loves me, because if it hurt her, that means she has feelings for me, okay? And that means, because, someone being angry at you or hating you is not the opposite of love. That's just passion. It's another form of passion, okay? The opposite of love is indifference, all right? So, and she's not indifferent to you, as we'll see. She was hurting a lot. I was hurt too, because I knew she was always hurting, but I didn't realize that she meant for it to be temporary at first. So you made an assumption based on your limiting belief that, hey, I screwed up, it's over forever. And then you come to find out it actually wasn't over forever. But because you thought it was over forever, and I'll keep going, but you'll see, you kind of went suicidal or went nuclear on it, right? You hit the nuke button on it. I didn't realize she meant for it to be temporary at first. She asked for time and space, and I didn't give it to her. I acted impulsively by texting her friends, and I pissed her off and annoyed her. And at one point, I said something to a friend that made it seem like I was blaming her for things, and that pissed her off. So for a good 2 months, I pissed her off and annoyed her, and I didn't know how I was acting at the time. I was in my own emotions, and I thought if we could talk or work something out, we could save the relationship. So yeah, you went nuclear on the situation because you kind of thought, well, it's over, I messed up, I might as well just hit the nuke button on this thing, and annoy her and piss her off, even though probably in the back of your mind you're going, I don't know if I should be doing all this, but somehow your emotions got the better of you because you had this limiting belief that, hey, I screw everything up, nothing works out for me anyway. So it's almost like there's this preemptive kind of strike against the relationship coming from your part, going, well, I might as well just nuke this thing, right? And just kind of go crazy for a while and express my frustrated emotions. But because you were so immersed in that mindset of seeing only the lack in the situation, you couldn't perceive at that point that she was actually just saying, I want some space. I'm a little ticked off because I care about you, mister, right? So I need some space to go through my emotions. It didn't mean that she was done with you for good. It was temporary. But you couldn't see that at the time because you were so much looking in the opposite direction of that. This is why it's so important to sort of unfocus from all the negative aspects and the thinking of it's their fault or it's my fault or I screwed everything up and it's never gonna yada, yada, yada. Because when you're in that mindset, when you're immersed in that, you cannot actually perceive of the positive signs that are there and happening. Okay, it's like the experiment I talked about months ago in another video with the yellow car and the quarters. I said, maybe you don't see a yellow car very often or a pink car or something. But if you start focusing on pink cars and yellow cars, if you start, visualizing them every day for just a couple of minutes, after about a week or so, you're going to start seeing them everywhere. You'll see actual physical pink or yellow cars, but you'll see toy cars that are pink or yellow. You'll see them on television. You'll see them in movies. You'll hear people talk about yellow cars. You'll see advertisements for yellow cars. All of a sudden, yellow cars will be everywhere, all right? Because you switched your frequency to be able to perceive them. So the question is, were the yellow cars always there, or did you conjure them up or manifest them out of your focusing upon them? And really what it is they were always there. They were just outside of your purview, outside of your perception because you weren't focusing on them. Or maybe you were focusing other directions saying, well, I never see yellow cars. Yellow cars are extremely rare. Who do you see driving a yellow car? Maybe they don't even exist. So a yellow car could literally drive right by you, but because you're in that opposite mindset of believing that yellow cars don't exist even, you won't see it. You won't actually physically see it. It could be driving right past you. It could even hit you. And you'd go, oh, a beige car hit me or an orange car hit me. But actually it was yellow. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it sounds a little far-fetched, but really this is how manifesting works. Because so often the good things are happening right in front of you, but you're not able to perceive of them. The solution could be staring you right in the face. It's always there. It's always available to you. Only the moment that you stop focusing on the problem, you see. Problem-oriented thinking, switching that to solution-oriented thinking, okay? That's when you start seeing solutions everywhere and you go, where the hell have you been? We've been here all the time. You just weren't seeing us because you were only thinking about problems, all right? Let that be a lesson, okay? It's a very important lesson here. So I pissed her off. I didn't know how I was acting at the time. I was in my own emotions, and I thought if we could talk or work something out, we could save the relationship. Also, some of the things, I want to say something about that too, because now you're in this emotional brouhaha and you're trying to save the relationship when in fact there was nothing to save to begin with. So you thought you had lost this relationship, and then by trying to take this uninspired action coming from a place of feeling frustrated and impatient and like you messed up, you felt like, I must do something now. I must save this thing. But actually the thing that you're now doing from that orientation, from being focused in the opposite of having the relationship, being focused instead of lacking the relationship, made you take actions that backfired. Okay, that's another lesson right there, and something I've talked about a lot. You don't want to take action from a place of feeling desperate, okay, frustrated, angry, feeling a strong need and desperation to fix something, because when you do that, your focus is still on the lack of the thing. So any action you take from that perspective is going to backfire. Only when you calm down and you center yourself and you become okay with the way things are for now, then from that place you can take inspired action, because the action will nudge you. All right, it'll actually nudge you. It'll go, here, I'm the action you need to take. Take me, take me, take me. Okay, and it could be something simple like, I really feel like going down to the coffee shop and getting a cup of coffee right now. I don't know why. I had 3 cups this morning. I don't really need coffee. I've got things to do, but something is telling me to just go down there. So I go down there and boom, there's your SP, or there's somebody who knows them, or there's the next piece of the puzzle. All right. There's the next thing along the path that you need to take some action on, and boom, that's it. That's how inspired action works. You won't have to think about it. You won't have to debate it in your mind. You'll just do it because you feel it's the next natural thing to do. So I lost my spot. For a good 2 months, I pissed her off and annoyed her. I didn't know I was in my emotions, and I thought we could talk or work something out. We could save the relationship. Also, some of the things changed after with my circumstances, and that also pissed her off. Well, I don't know what that's about, but at this point, she has told me she's tired of the whole situation and she doesn't like how I handled the breakup, and said that she can't be with me anymore. So she's expressing frustration, okay? And just because she's saying in that moment of frustration, I can't be with you anymore, doesn't mean that she won't change her mind or be influenced towards the opposite at some point. So don't take that with, as being the end all of the whole thing, okay? It sounds like an ultimatum or an ultimate kind of statement, but people change all the time. What she's saying here to you is your behavior these past couple months or whatever turned me off, and I still care about you. So by even saying she's tired and she's worn out means that she cares about you. But your actions, I suppose, pissed her off to the point where she's like, I need some space. She's sending you the message saying, be different. Okay, be different. And then maybe we could still have a chance, despite what she's actually saying with her mouth. That's kind of, if you read between the lines, you can see that's what's going on. Because you were taking such desperate action. And that is a turnoff. That's repellent energy. That's what I always talk about as well. Okay, if we're talking about law of attraction, consider if what you're putting out energy-wise and focus-wise and through your actions is attractive or repellent to somebody, to your specific person in particular, okay? How is this coming off to them? How would it be if they were behaving that way towards you, right? Again, not to place fault on you, and I want you to stop blaming yourself for it, but it's good to be aware of it. It's good to be self-aware, okay? And then forgive yourself for that and go, well, now I know, and thank you for this situation teaching me, coming into my life and teaching me where I was kind of going off the path. Okay, so now that I know, I have a lot more information to get back on my path and do this properly. She said she loved me. Well, there you have it. She loves you. She even said it, and always will. Does that sound like an end? Does that sound like a nuclear option right there? No, right? I love you and I always will. As long as you change, buddy, I may even love you again in the way that you prefer. Listen to what they're saying too. This is especially true, and I want to say this, when it comes to male and female relationships, because a lot of men, I think, don't understand how women communicate with them, okay? Men are very direct with each other. Women will communicate very often through their emotions, or they won't say things very directly because it's kind of cultural conditioning in a lot of ways. You know, you want to be nice. You got to be the nice girl. So, but she's telling you really in no uncertain terms that she still has feelings for you, but you've been screwing up, so stop screwing up. Act differently, and you'll have a chance with her again. Again, not to place fault on you, but being aware, being self-aware. That's very different than blaming yourself, okay? So, she said she loved me and always will, but she's tired. In our last interaction, she asked me if I needed to be blocked. Do I need to block you, young man? Do I need to put you in a corner? Time out. I'm sorry, but that's kind of funny. I think my foot fell asleep. I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, and she told me to delete the pictures of us and get her out of my head. It sounds like she isn't really getting you out of her head either. 4 weeks ago, because she's looking at your profile, you know that. If she sees that you still have the pictures of the two of you, she's seeing your profile. 4 weeks ago when we last texted. Oh, that was 4 weeks ago when we last texted. I really love this girl and she means so much to me. And I regret how I was acting because I didn't know how to control my emotions and my fears of losing her forever. Well, there you go. You recognize it. You recognize where it was coming from. You recognize that it was coming from a focus on lack, okay? Now that you know, you can forgive yourself because you're human. You're here having a human experience and it's okay to make mistakes. So you go, okay, I didn't know how to control my emotions then. I let my fears get the better of me. Excuse me. And so now that I know that, I can do something to rectify that. And what I do is I focus on improving myself on the inside. I focus on making myself happy right now without her even being there, okay? I focus on self-improvement. So much of manifesting, especially when it comes to manifesting specific people, guys, okay, is about self-improvement. But it's the same as for manifesting things like money, because you have to improve your ideas and your relationship with money, okay, for instance. And so in this case, you also have to improve your ideas about relationships with other people, about romantic relationships, all right? So self-improvement, it's not to suggest there's something wrong with you now, but it's about growth, and that's what we're here for. We're here to grow, and this manifesting stuff is a mechanism through which we are able to do so. So as we go through challenges in life, most of us have been taught to avoid challenges, to defeat challenges. We're rarely ever taught that we should make them our friends and look at them as something that's good for us because they foster our growth, you see. They make us stronger, all right? I heard a story recently. Somebody said that, when they were a kid, they used to go on a BMX bike a lot. Right? And do wheelies in front of the house and things like that. Never wore a helmet and constantly fell on his butt. But he never injured his head because all the falling down and being aware that he didn't have a helmet on taught him how to roll, how to drop, how to fall properly so that he actually could avoid a lot of injury. So it is with life and life's challenges. They teach you to be stronger, but they also teach you how to maneuver them, okay? So that you become better and better and better at these challenges. So when they pop up again, because you've been doing the inner work and because you've been learning from your challenges, they won't affect you as much, okay? And that's where we really get into a flow with ourselves. That's when we really become powerful in our manifesting and our deliberate manifesting. When these challenges that come up no longer phase us the way that they did before. And when you recognize and see that happening in your life, then you'll know you've actually made a quantum shift. You've actually shifted into a different version of yourself. And that's precisely what's necessary in order to obtain all the desires that you want to obtain and manifest into your life, okay? Because ultimately they're already there. They're already in place. They're just sort of frozen, let's say, until you activate them with your focus, okay? So learn to roll with the punches, all right? Learn to fall. You get better and better and better at it so that when your SP comes back, when you manifest them at the right time, and the right time always means the time that you're most ready for it, okay? So from the universe's perspective, they're trying to save you all this anguish, all right? Because a lot of you might go, why hasn't it happened yet? It's been so long. Be glad that it hasn't, because if you haven't done the internal work yet, if you haven't learned to roll with the punches yet, you haven't worked on improving yourself and the way you react to challenging situations in a relationship yet, then you don't really want them back at that moment. You want to do more work on yourself so that when they do come back, you are the best version of yourself that you can be at that moment. And then you can have a healthy, long-lasting relationship of mutual love and respect and understanding. That's what you're really going for. You don't want this old relationship back. You want the person back. You don't want the old relationship back. You want to start a brand new, wonderful, much more wonderful relationship with them. So that's why you do the work on yourself, guys, okay? You make yourself ready for it. Don't worry about making them ready for it. And here, Mista, and with the case with this girl, she's ready for it. She's ready for you to come and be the best version of yourself because she knows that you're better than the way that you're behaving. When she says things to you like, hey, I still love you, I always will, but do I need to put you in a timeout? What she's really communicating to you is, I know you can be better than that. Where's the guy that I really fell for? I want to see that guy again. Because so many times we fall into this version of ourselves, that's like desperate and needy and pushy and all this kind of stuff, and does things that are out of character. And often the specific person will notice that and be kind of repelled by it because they understand that that's out of character for him or for her. So what's going on here? And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive, you see. So get back in character, okay? That's really what she's saying to you. Think about it. She's an amazing girl and I really want to fix things and I don't know how to. Well, and that's what you do. For now, okay, let me keep going. I've been doing no contact for 4 weeks now. Plan on doing it the whole summer. After this, I've walked past her house a few times because there is a field near her house that I work out in, and she has seen me walk by and she saw me glance at her house and she thought I was crazy. Did she tell you that, or did you just assume she thought you were crazy? I should keep reading. She was at a party and told everyone how crazy I am. How she wants nothing to do with me and doesn't want to be with me or even talk to me. Well, first of all, is that the only field in your town for you to work out in? Let's be honest here, okay, my friend? Come on. Part of you is out there going, oh, there's her house. Oh, I just happen to be here in this field where I work out and she just happens to live over there. You're looking for validation. You're looking for some kind of connection. In other words, you're taking action from a place of feeling lack. And what happened? The opposite of what you were trying to achieve. She went even further, moved even further away from you. And in this case, then telling everyone you're crazy and stalking her outside on the field outside her house. So let that be a lesson again that, avoid taking action or trying to communicate from a place of feeling desperate and needy about the situation. You need to get okay with yourself first. You need to get centered first. You need to get calm first, okay? This isn't over by any means, and that's true for all of you guys out there, all right? That's true for every single one of you who want to manifest a specific person. I need to stress this. None of you have messed up beyond repair. There's no such thing. You can always get back on the track. You can always get back on the path, but you're not going to be able to do it from a place of feeling desperate and focusing on your lack. So I would say for now, yes, continue the no contact. I wouldn't say I plan on doing it the whole summer. Things could switch still during the summer. We still got quite a bit of summer to go. Things could switch much quicker than you anticipate, but I wouldn't focus on trying to get to a point where things switch. What I would focus on right now, which I always stress, is to work on yourself and to work on being okay with where you are right now. See this time of separation as an opportunity to do that. You now have the space and the time to work on yourself and to make yourself the best version of yourself that you possibly can at this point, and to become the best boyfriend and partner to her that you can. Because here's the thing, if you love her, then you'll work on becoming a good lover. There's something you don't hear a lot, but becoming the best version of yourself is actually giving back to other people. And it's giving back to the other people in your life. Are you hearing this? It's very important, because that will improve their lives also. And it will improve the lives of your community and of everybody around you and of the world ultimately. We spend so much time in this world trying to change other people, trying to get them to kowtow to our version of things, trying to manipulate them, stepping on their necks, twisting their arms, burning down their things, yelling at them and screaming at them and throwing things at them. There's so much of that going on right now, and people still have yet to learn the lesson that you don't influence the world in any positive way by doing things like that. The way you influence the world, the way you make the world a better place is to become a better person, a better version of yourself. Stop trying to change other people. Start changing yourself. And the moment you do, you'll see immediate positive effects from that. You will. If you pay attention, you will see them. And the more you go down that path and the more you make this about tending your garden and tending your internal space and your internal frame of mind and frame of being, the stronger you become as a result of the punches and learning to roll with the punches, the better person you become, the better lover you're going to be, the better father or mother you're going to be, the better friend you're going to be, the better son or daughter you're going to be, the better aunt and uncle and nephew and niece, the better co-worker, the better employee, the better boss, the better politician, the better voter. Okay? The better you're going to be. And if we all just tend to that, and it's so simple to do. I know it seems scary to do that. It seems scary to face ourselves and to look at our shortcomings and to go, I'm going to do something about that. It seems like an insurmountable obstacle, but nothing could be further from the truth. Once you really focus on it and get into it, you'll see just how easy it is and how simple it is. All right, to change your perception, your perspective, your thinking. Just that alone, just doing something a little different every day that helps you empower yourself will lead you on a path towards great self-improvement, which will in turn improve not just your life, but the lives of everyone that you touch out there, okay? And that will make the world a better place. And I believe that firmly. If we learn this stuff, this manifesting stuff, we really get it down. This is the work we should all be doing right now. Every one of us, in our own way, okay? Because the more we do it, the better we become as a community, as a global community as well, okay? And I know the aliens are out there just waiting for us to catch up. That's for another video. So, Mr., my friend, I would recommend for now, do what I said. Work on yourself. Don't try to impress her. Find another field to work out in, okay? There's got to be more than one field in your town. And keep working out and keep making yourself strong and keep thinking of yourself as being somebody who's worthy of love and having what you want, and forgive yourself first and foremost for anything that you think you might have done or screwed up. You did not screw this up beyond repair. There is no chance of ever doing that with anything in life, okay? So drop that narrative right now too. You're going to get back on track. And in fact, I can tell you from experience, and not just experience with manifesting, but experience as somebody who's dated a lot and done all that stuff. And really, that was one thing that I did to improve myself over the years. You know, there was a time I didn't know how to communicate with the opposite sex, and I taught myself to do that. That was a self-improvement thing that I did. And I learned so much about, communication in that regard. And I can tell you from reading what you wrote and what she said to you, this isn't over by a long shot. She still has very strong feelings for you. But I would not worry about that right now. I would worry about yourself and the feelings you have for yourself and fostering that relationship with yourself and healing that first, okay? And then watch. You won't need to think about how to contact her, when to contact her. You'll be urged to take the proper steps that will lead you back on the path towards being together with her again, okay? Trust in that. Have faith in that. All right? So thanks for the comment, and thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing, all the new subscribers. If you haven't done so and you're watching this and you like the cut of my jib, please hit subscribe. Please hit that bell notification. It helps my channel grow when you do that. Okay? So please, if you value and appreciate this content, help me out. And also, if you want to leave a tip, thank you to everyone who's doing that and has done that. You can do so down below in the description box. There's a couple links for Cash App and PayPal. And if you want some coaching, there's a link for that down there as well. And as always, guys, I love you. I'm Tarkan. Happy manifesting. Remember to have fun with this stuff, okay? And until next time, bye-bye.